So, what did you want?
A do-over? And to apologize for the last time.
It's a nice sentiment. But a do-over doesn't have much appeal for either of us.
Yeah, I don't understand why we should keep giving you chances.
You shouldn't. Not if you don't want to. But hear me out, okay? I've been the person in charge for years. When I'm stressed, I can steamroll people who never expected it, and certainly don't deserve it.
That's what assholes say. To justify their behavior so they can keep being assholes.
Half of the Avengers agree with you. Look, nothing I did was justified. I was a jerk. And I'm sorry.
Okay.
Look, when you take away all the trappings of ungodly wealth, I'm just a guy who likes to make things. None of my friends were into this stuff. I was the only kid who saw beauty in exhaust manifolds, who spent hours poring over the guts of a microprocessor. That's all I want here, to make things with friends. As long as that's still an option.
That's the whole idea behind this? Okay, here's how we make this work. Tony Stark, CEO, is banned from shop class.
But making things, Tony? The guy we're talking to right now? He can stay.
That's more than fair.
Took Tony long enough to figure out shop class, huh? I thought his suit had the thicker skull.
You seem happier than I expected.
Of course I'm happy. Everything's back to normal. That's all we wanted. I'll let you get to it. Parker can't wait to dive in.
Well, that was less painful than expected. Thanks for coming, Hunter. We all needed to, clear the air.
Glad that's over with. Feuding with Tony Stark is not an achievement I care to unlock. So, how about we make something new? We don't have much on this saber-tooth guy, but we know he's incredibly dangerous. He's also somewhat predictable.
In what way?
When it comes to a fight, he's extremely aggressive. Our ideas take advantage of that.
What have you cooked up?
The initial prototype uses a tailored pheromone to keep him away. It provokes an intense revulsion we hope will blunt his attacks.
Like a foul scent used to keep animals at bay?
Well put. Our other prototype is... well, we kept it simple. It's part sedative and part itching powder.
To trip him up with a thorn in his paw.
A very distracting thorn at that. I finally have a use for the components you handed me. I'm ready to put this together. How about you?
I am ready.
Parker's creative drive is amazing. Seeing how he tackles a problem gives me ideas of my own. And Robbie has the right intuition when it comes to putting these prototypes together. I thought he was being overcautious, but that's a crafter's care. Wish I'd seen it earlier.
Look, I don't want to brag, but I think this is our best work. Yeah, I know, blah blah, teamwork, blah blah blah, but still, it's impressive what we can do when we all work together.
I think that was our best work. Everyone did their part. I'm ready to call it a night. How about you?
I am ready to go.
Hey, Robbie, you got a sec?
Sure.
About Salazar Steel. I couldn't remember any details about the Stark Technology Center, so I did some digging. 10 years ago, Oscorp and Stark Industries were in a good old-fashioned business war. Salazar Steel was a promising acquisition. When we realized Oscorp was angling in, we bought the plant from Mr. Salazar. What we didn't realize was how much of his finances were a mess. He poured his profits back into the plant. It was the only thing keeping the lights on. But the Oscorp thing, well, our stock couldn't afford to take the hit. We had to shut the plant down.
Then, what was the technology center?
A complete fiction. The only problem I saw from the boardroom was a dip in our stock from closing the plant. So I did the classic billionaire's trick of pitching a ridiculous idea that would take years to get off the ground. Stock rose. People celebrated my genius vision. And that was the last I thought of Salazar Steel. But I should have followed up. Ensured the people who lost their jobs found new ones. Robbie, I'm not the man I was 10 years ago. I'm glad you met me, and not him.
This doesn't make you look good.
Yeah, I get that a lot.
I meant, you aren't trying to spin this. I respect that you shared this, warts and all.
Oh yeah, of course. You deserve to know what happened.
So, I'm going to tinker with the Hellride. You wanna give me a hand?
Sure. Tell me where you need me.
Where in the hell are you, Blaze? Deadpool's a classic case of don't judge a book by its cover, or the pages that are stuck together. Hunter, you have the same effect on vampires as microwaving fish does on the Avengers break room.
I am clearing them out?
You got it. New breed vampire activity has slowed down since you took the fight to them. We're making a dent.
Our focus should be on Lilith.
Train hard, fight easy, Hunter. We're keeping people safe and improving our game. Don't worry. We can juggle two threats at the same time, even if they're both made of knives. One thing is certain. Vampires are making the most of the chaos Lilith created. The good news? I see no signs that they're working together.
Are you sure there is no connection?
Just a hunch. Let's look at what we know. There's no crying over smashed vampire relics, but I wouldn't have minded adding the Magna Corrigo to our arsenal. Yeah, I know. Nasty artifacts like that aren't known for their safety features. Still, I wonder if Strange and Tony could have used it to make something useful.
No need to waste time considering what could have been.
I don't like anyone else making decisions for me, but you're right. If it doesn't exist, it can't fall into the wrong hands. The silver lining here is that it blew up in Sin's face. She'll be picking the pieces out for days. That's a win as far as I'm concerned.
I can agree with that.
Anything else on your mind?
Thanks, Carol.
Sure thing.
All you have to do is take out that nest mother. Sounds simple enough. Do not allow her to distract you.
That's what we're after? Here we go. This should help a little. Getting it done any way we know how. Ought to improve the odds.
This shall be of great help. Welcome assistance. Your time has come.
Here it comes.
Fair enough.
You had your chance to escape. Lilith herself would not best me. What makes you think you will fare any better?
Sure, why not? Hey, the jerk store called. They're running low on you guys. This should be good.
I will make you
I'm up. This shouldn't take long.
I can handle it.
We've done it. Excellent work.
Time for book club. You coming?
Meet you there.
After you.
Whenever I read this book, I can still hear the General's voice in my head. Yeah?
Welcome to book club.
Yeah, okay.
I didn't realize Steve knew the author. I really should have read this when he first asked.
If you haven't already, you should welcome Logan. Ready to kick this off?
I am ready.
Before we start, I want to welcome Logan to the book club. What did you think of the book?
I didn't read it.
Okay then, guess I'll start. Steve, I really enjoyed this book.
What stood out to you?
I know people have different approaches to leading others, but I never considered what drives them to do so. Take Custer. He led from the front and was mostly loved by his troops, but his drive for personal glory affected every choice he made. Eventually, Custer picked a fight he couldn't handle. His recklessness led to the death of himself and every soldier he commanded.
His orders were to slaughter a native village. He deserved what he got.
I can't argue with that. I think the biggest lesson, beyond don't be Custer, is that an outsized ego is a double-edged sword for a leader.
Also, you can't just get through life with a pretty face.
I thought you didn't read the book.
I didn't, but I picked things up from context.
I learned more about George Washington from this book than anything I was taught in school.
Yeah, that surprised me as well.
Before this, I associated him with statues, paintings, and the dustiest parts of American history. But here we see a military leader whose personal ambition was the victory of his army. He was clear-eyed about his goals and knew how to get out of his own way. Washington led from the top, though he kept counsel with various advisors. Once he made a decision, he expected his subordinates to follow his orders.
For less capable people, that sounds far too rigid a way to lead.
Yeah, I find it's best to leave some wiggle room. Give your people objectives and the resources to achieve them. More than anyone else in the book, Washington believed true leadership is a contract bestowed upon you by those whom you lead.
And that's where the book gets its title?
Right. The mantle of authority. It's something that augments you.
Which brings us to our final profile.
We really don't have to do this one.
And now I'm interested.
Steve, how long have you bugged me to read this?
Not because of the chapter on me. You all know General Phillips selected me for the Super Soldier program. For a time, he commanded me in the field, and that's why my profile is in the book. He was kind to say I led by example. Maybe that's how it used to be. But the Avengers isn't a military organization. If I gave Tony an order, he'd laugh in my face. To get anything done, I need the group's consensus. I can't give pretty speeches about the need to sacrifice. I have to show that putting in the effort today will make a better tomorrow.
It cannot be as simple as you make it sound.
Oh, it never is. It's a constant struggle, and you won't always see eye to eye. Still, I find it's absolutely worth the effort. Leadership you can gain, but trust, that you have to earn. But I find little enjoyment in talking about myself, so yeah, let's end it here.
All right, we'll call it here. Next month is... Hunter, do you have any books to suggest?
None from the past few centuries.
Then Logan could pick the next one.
Sure. The Adventures of Crash Morgan number 5, The Last Queen of Deimos.
What is that exactly?
It's about a space explorer with a ray gun, a jetpack, and a fishbowl helmet. Travels through space with a robot dog. They get in wacky adventures.
That's a classic. A buddy of mine had that in basic.
I'm always up for space nonsense.
I'm not, but that's the book. I'll give it a shot.
I'm not sure why Logan joined book club if he's not going to read the books.
You are not required to do so.
Come on, it's the principle.
I'm actually surprised Steve recommended this book.
Why?
Steve can take a compliment, but he's uncomfortable with praise, especially from someone he respects.
What did you think?
Well, the punch is decent. But there should have been a bigger spread.
What I meant, what did you think about book club?
I just told you. Thumbs up for punch, thumbs down for snacks.
Well, at least Logan showed up.
You did not think he would.
I wasn't sure he'd be into book club, and I don't know what to expect from that book of his.
The name alone has me intrigued.
Maybe you're right. I should learn to roll with the unexpected.
You welcomed a resurrected demon slayer into your life. Now we read books together.
Can't argue with that. When you first joined, I wanted you to keep an open mind about book club. I owe Logan the same courtesy you showed me.
Good call.
On your way out?
Yeah, I am done.
Righteous.